Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Town of Ayer Select Board meeting for Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, in accordance with Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, public bodies otherwise governed by the open meeting law are temporarily relieved from the requirement that meetings be held in public places, open and physically accessible to the public, so long as measures are taken to ensure public access to the body's deliberations through adequate alternative means. This meeting will be live on Zoom and Channel 8. The public may participate remotely by joining Zoom with meeting ID number 897-9080-0793 or by calling 929-205-6099. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Carly Antonellis, the Assistant Town Manager, at atm@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 100 prior to the meeting. If we could start with the Pledge of Allegiance, if everybody could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Are there any changes to the agenda as it was presented?
I have none.
I do not have any.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Seconded.
Okay. Board Member Hood, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Member Livingston, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, and the agenda is approved as presented. I do not have any announcements this evening. Is there anybody who is on the line for public input this evening? Okay, not seeing or hearing anybody. We'll move on to our first item on the agenda, or our next item on the agenda, which is two items from Dan, the director of the DPW. Hello, Dan. How are you tonight?
Hey, I'm fine. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. Hi. Yeah, so I have two items on the agenda tonight. And the first is approval of a change order 1 for 2019 through 2021 road paving. So in your packet, you can see my memo. The change orders for $35,045.84. And it's basically to cover the cost of a stormwater infiltration swale installed along Groton Shirley Road. In the road paving contract we have with PJ Albert, there's no pay item for this specific task. So using the contract terms, we perform the work under time and material costs. So it covers the cost for the construction they did for that stormwater swale. So if there's any questions, let me know.
Okay. Janice or Scott, any questions?
No questions, thanks.
I have none.
Okay, I don't either. So I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that the select board approve the change order number 1 for the road paving for 2019 through 2021 road paving in the amount of $35,045.84.
Well, second.
Board Member Livingston, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Member Hood, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, and the change order is approved.
Okay. Thank you. The second item is an amendment to the agreement for wastewater treatment and disposal services with Mass Development, AKA the Devon's Agreement, we like to call it. So currently, the agreement for wastewater disposal to Devon's expires December 31st, 2021. So this coming December 31st. And we've been negotiating with Devon's currently, and we've sent the agreement with our changes to Devon's, but their legal counsel is requesting time to review. And they requested to have a 90-day extension till April 1st, 2022. And so that's what the amendment is for.
Any questions from Scott or Janice?
I have none.
I guess my only question is, how are negotiations going? Are we going to get a lower rate than what we're currently on the current agreement?
I can't say for sure. We've been talking with the engineers and everything seems okay. Mark Wetzel's been primarily working on it, but we have right now we have a capacity of 800,000 gallons at Devon's per day, but we're going to lower that. We're aiming for 350,000, and that's based on the capacity we require based on our growth over the next 10 years. And they seemed okay with that preliminarily. And also we owe them 100,000 gallons a day of discharge per our current agreement, and we're knocking that down. We want to go down to a 50,000, and that's basically the amount of sewer that's in the force main pipe that goes to Devon. So to keep that moving daily rather than having sewer gases and other issues potentially happen. So far they've seemed positive to our what we like to do. So
All right,
those are
thank you.
just a couple of items. Yep.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the amendment to the agreement for the wastewater treatment and disposal services with Mass Development extending from December 31st, 2021 through April 1st, 2022.
Seconded.
Okay. Board Member Hood, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Member Livingston, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. And the extension's approved, or the amendment for the extension. Anything else tonight, Dan?
No, that's it. Thanks, Sean. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Have
thanks,
Merry
Dan.
Christmas.
You too.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, that brings us to our next agenda item, which is acceptance of a donation. And I think Ms. Dr. Petrowski is on the line.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Katie. How are you tonight?
Good, thanks.
Do you want to go ahead and just give a little brief background on what the two donations are?
I just received a very generous donation from Loaves and Fishes, and as well as from a private citizen. One is earmarked for a particular purpose, and the other one is not. So we're just incredibly grateful to our supporting organizations and citizens for helping us to serve the seniors of Ayer.
Nice. Are you able to share what the specific purposes for one of the donations, or?
It was intended for holiday cheer for seniors.
That's really nice. Okay, Janice or Scott, do you have any questions about the donations?
No question. Thanks.
No.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to accept them then.
I'll make a
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to accept the donations to Council on Aging from Loaves and Fishes in Catherine Carlson.
Seconded.
Okay, Board Member Hood, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Member Livingston, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. And the donations are accepted. Thank you, Dr. Petrowski.
Great, thank you so much.
All right, happy holidays.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, that brings us to our next item, which is from the Parks Department. Jeff, are you on?
I believe it's
Yeah.
Jason Mayo that I believe will be on behalf of the Parks Commission.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if Jason is. Yeah.
I don't see Jason.
I don't
either.
see Jason
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, I don't see anybody for parks.
I could provide you with an overview.
Sure, go ahead.
Hey,
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to know, we're running a little ahead of schedule, so maybe they're not on yet.
Okay,
So maybe, I don't know, it's up to you. We have the Barbara's thing for the bond issue, but I don't know, we're just ahead of schedule. Maybe that's why they're not here yet.
sure.
Mr. Chair, I have no problems of coming back to this in a few minutes if they join us.
Okay,
Same here.
Scott, okay. Yeah, so is Barbara on?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
this is Robert, the town manager. I don't believe Ms. Tierney will be appearing before the board. She was out today, but I would be happy to present this item to the board for your consideration. As you have in your packet from Ms. Tierney, this has to do with the bond issue for the SCBA compressor and fill station for the fire department as approved under the capital requests from April 26th of 2021, Article 11. As is the case with all of these, a bond council advises the town on the requirements needed prior to issuing the bond. And what Ms. Tierney was respectfully requesting from the board is on the second page of her material to you of her memo. She's provided a motion that the board would be adopting and voting that the SCBA compressor and fill station useful life determination as written and presented to this meeting, and that such vote text be incorporated in the minutes. And as you can see in her memo, the useful life recommendation in consultation with the finance manager was for 10 years.
So I need to read this whole page of the vote of the select board?
I would respectfully, I think if somebody made the motion referencing the December 10th memo from the treasurer, that would suffice without having to read the whole thing.
Well, it seems
Or-
strange to me. So
Yeah,
I,
it seems a little strange to me also.
yeah. So I'll read it. Are we
Okay.
ready for me to read it now, or?
Well,
I'm
unless
so
there's any.
confused with these memos. So,
Yeah, do either of you have any questions on it?
Yeah.
It's
I don't.
relatively straightforward to me, I think.
Well, my only, sorry, my only question, Mr. Chair, is, so we're setting the life at 10 years, was in consultation with the finance manager, was that made in consultation with the fire department?
Yes, it's my understanding.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, the fire chief is on as well. It's my understanding that the fire chief, the finance manager, Ms. Tierney, and bond counsel put this together.
Okay, thank you for confirming.
I don't have any other questions.
That was my only question. Thank you.
so,
Take it away, Janet.
all right, so I'm gonna make the motion, and then I'm gonna read that page, because I
right.
think somehow this feels backwards. So, okay, so I move that the select board adopt the vote regarding the SCBA compressor and fill station useful life determination as written and presented to this meeting, and that such vote text be incorporated into the minutes of this meeting.
Second,
Okay, Board Member Livingston, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Member Hood, how do you vote?
aye.
And the chair votes aye.
Okay, so now I, the clerk of the select board of the town of Ayer, Massachusetts, certify that a meeting of the board held on December 21st, 2021, of which meeting all member of the board were duly notified and at which a quorum was present. The following vote was unanimously passed, all of which appears upon the official record of the board in my custody. Voted that the maximum useful life of the department equipment listed below to be financed with the portion of the proceeds of the $4,292,565 borrowing authorized by the vote of the town passed Article 26, 2021, Article 11, town passed April 26, 2021, Article 11, is hereby determined pursuant to General Law, Chapter 44, Section 7-1, to be as follows. The purpose is the SCBA compressor and fill station. The borrowing amount is $70,000 and the maximum useful life is 10 years. I further certify that the votes were taken at a meeting open to the public, that no vote was taken by secret ballot, that a notice stating the place, date, time, and agenda for the meeting, which agenda included the adoption of the above votes, was filled with the town clerk and copy thereof posted in a manner conspicuously visible to the public at all hours in or on the municipal building that the office of the town clerk is located, or if applicable, is in accordance with an alternative method of notice prescribed or approved by the Attorney General as set forth in 940 CMR 29.03-2-B, at least 48 hours, not including Saturdays and Sundays and legal holidays, prior to the time of the meeting, and remain so posted at a time of the meeting that no deliberations or decision in connection with the subject matter of this vote were taken in executive session, all in accordance with General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18 through 25 as amended. As of today's date, December 21st, 2021, and I am the clerk of the select board.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yes.
Okay. It's be a tongue twister sometimes. No,
And nothing else needs to be done on that one, right?
no, I think we're good, and it looks like Jeff is here now.
Yes, perfect. All right, thank you for taking that, Robert. Okay, so we'll go back to the agenda item from Jeff Thompson, the Director of the Parks Department, and Alan Manoy, the Directors of Community and Economic Development. Hi, Jeff.
I think he's on mute.
Hello, thank you for having me in my department.
Hello.
All right, do you want to go ahead and explain or give us a little bit on what you're here to request this evening?
Certainly, I believe in your packet, you received a letter from our department. And what we were looking for was your, I think it's permission is the right word, to pursue a grant from that we're trying to get from the AOCED from Alan's department. And it's a grant from the Federal Land and Water Conservation Fund. What this would do, if successful, would allow us to get reimbursed for any of the funding that we were able to raise for the Kitty Junction projects. And as a reminder, that's both for the remediation of the area and then for the rebuild of the playground once we get that area cleaned up. So obviously the remediation comes first, and that's something that's being required at this point by Mass DEP. But then the rebuild is going to be something we need to do as well, because obviously everyone wants to have another playground there. So we've been working on trying to get this grant together. It's a whole team's been put together, both from Alan's office and from our Parks office, to try to do different things to put this all together. It's a very time-sensitive grant that we've been trying to put the pieces together for. And one of those pieces is to come before your board and get permission for us to pursue that.
Okay. Janice or Scott, any questions or comments?
I'm always for applying for grants. So.
Same here.
Exactly, absolutely.
Any money to minimize what the town spends is great.
There you go. There you go. So.
Excellent. And just to reiterate, this grant itself is a reimbursement grant. So it's dependent on us getting the funds and then completing the projects in the first place. But to put that ball in place, we have to have everything in line. So it's a chicken and egg thing. It's a little difficult. And through Alan's office and through other resources, we are going to be pursuing other grants, even while we're pursuing funding for this project that we hope to go after or pursue through town meeting. But in the meantime, we are going to keep on going after it, as we have been for the last 15 years, frankly. So we're hoping that with the economic and political climate changing a bit from all the way from Washington, there may be some new avenues for revenue that have come up just now that we may be able to go after. So we are going to keep on trying to seek those out. And this is the first of, we hope, many opportunities.
Great. Thank you, Jeff.
Excellent.
Any other comments or questions?
So I'll just quickly add from the capital planning perspective.
Yeah.
So the request for Kitty Junction. It came in at about $500,000. There's also discussion around working with CPC to get some funding from community preservation to offset that and try and get the total impact on capital down about 200,000. So this grant would cover right now would cover all of our expected expenses that we've seen through capital.
Great. It's really good. Okay. Janice, anything else?
Nope.
All right. With nothing else being, no more questions, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that the select board authorize the application to the Federal Land and Water Conservation Fund grant for Ayer Kitty Junction redevelopment project.
Second.
Okay, Board Member Livingston, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Member Hood, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. And the request is approved. Thank you so much, Alan and Jeff,
Thank you.
and good work.
All right. Good work. Good luck.
Thanks.
Happy holidays.
Yes.
As well.
As well.
All right, so that brings our next agenda item. We're still a few minutes ahead of time, but from Chuck Schultz, the Director of Facilities Department, for contract execution. Hi, Chuck. How are you tonight?
How you doing, Mr. Chairman? I'm here to recommend to the Board of Selectmen the execution of the police station rooftop unit replacement with Thomas E. Snowden. We've been working together on proposals, units, everything looks good, and we're excited to get the ball rolling and get the project going.
Excellent.
Any questions, Scott or Janice?
No questions. Thank you.
I didn't have any either after reading through it. So I'll entertain a motion on this one as well.
I'll make a motion to execute the contract for the police station HVAC rooftop unit replacement with Thomas E. Snowden Incorporated as presented.
Seconded.
Okay, Board Member Hood, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Member Livingston, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. And the contract execution is approved.
Thank you, guys. Have a good Christmas.
Thanks,
You
Jack.
too. And a happy new year.
You too.
All right, our next item on the agenda is the town manager's report. Mr. Pompriand. Hello.
Mr. Chairman, members of the Select Board, good evening. I hope that you are well. In the packet, you have the town warrants, which were reviewed and approved since the board last met on December 7th. Under the administrative update, I just wanted to offer a few quick points, if I may, through the board. First, as the board is aware, on December 18th, the ice sculptures were installed at Town Hall, and though the weather may not have been fully what we hoped, they were still most impressive, and we appreciate all of Alan's work on bringing that program to air, as well as all of our sponsors that donated for that. I'm also wanted to mention that Santa's visit to the town of Ayer on December 19th was very well received, and I'm told he greatly appreciated being escorted by the Ayer and Ayer police and fire departments, and a special thanks to the chiefs and to the police department, fire department, and DPW for escorting Santa throughout the town of Ayer on Sunday. And lastly, the holiday lights remain another success, I think, across town. And again, a very special thanks to Miss Antonellis for all of her behind the scenes work on making that happen and be successful. And a special thanks to all of our sponsors, including the Ayer Town Meeting, the citizens of Ayer, for their continued support for that. So I think the town definitely looks very good this holiday season. Just briefly, and we haven't had to discuss this in quite some time, but just under, I guess, the title of sort of COVID concerns, for the last 2 weeks, we've been monitoring the COVID numbers closely. As the board is aware, there has been a significant increase in those numbers over the last 2 weeks in Massachusetts, the region, and in Ayer. As the board's aware, yesterday, We went back to asking all town personnel to wear masks when at work. And we're also asking the public to wear a mask or face covering when visiting and conducting business in town buildings. And this is consistent and very similar to the advisory we had prior to the end of the state of emergency. I just wanted to stress again, we're just doing this again out of concern for town personnel's health and safety and the public's health and safety, and to hopefully get us, through the holiday season and moving forward. So again, we haven't had a COVID update in quite some time, and just that brief one this evening. I also want to mention, as the board will recall, at the December 7th meeting with the approval of the police chief's cruiser, we had discussed the reserve fund. There was $300,000 budgeted for this year in the reserve fund, and it was brought to the board's attention by myself that there were $122,000 in outstanding CARES requests, largely for fire protective gear and for some facilities department overtime that had been rejected by the state. And I had advised at that time that the town was appealing that. And I'm pleased to report to you this evening that the state has granted the town's appeal, so that $122,000 in unpaid expenses, which were largely for the fire protective gear and the facilities funding, will go back into the reserve fund. So that puts the reserve fund back at a balance of $213,230 for the remainder of the year, which is much more favorable than the $98,000 we were looking at. A special thanks to the fire department and the finance department for their support with that appeal. Administratively, as the board knows, and as I put in the packet, it is the time of the year where it is all things budget. I will go back over the major dates. You have those in your packets. The budgets are due December 30th, and then we will continue to move forward with that process. Again, if there are any questions regarding the budget, please let me know. I just want to point out the town hall hours for this week, and we'll send out some notification on that the town hall will close on Thursday, December 23rd at noon. It's a half day. Friday, Christmas Eve, December 4th, the town hall is closed, and we will reopen to the public on Monday, December 27th at 8 a.m. And we'll be putting out a notification on that. Before I get to the action items, I just want to conclude, as this will be the last administrative update for the calendar year. I just want to thank the board again for all of your efforts and for your continued support. I also want to thank the residents of Ayer and the town of Ayer, not only for their continued support, but for their continued cooperation and patience, as unfortunately we're sort of now entering the second year of the pandemic, and it has been very challenging for everyone. But I think it's safe to say that, as is the case always with the town of Ayer, has gone above and beyond. The people, the town government, the school district, everybody continues to go above and beyond to ensure not only the safety and health of everyone, but the best interests. And I just want to wish everyone a very safe holiday season and a happy and healthy new year. And I am looking forward to 2022 for the town of Ayer. Unless there's any administrative questions from members of the board, I'll get right to the action items. That I have a few this evening. The first one is a request for appointment to the Cultural Council. I respectfully recommend that the Select Board appoint Ms. Catherine Marino Dobas of Ayer to the Cultural Council to a vacant 3-year term to expire on June 30th of 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
All right, Board Member Livingston, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Member Hood, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Okay, so that appointment's approved.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, the second item, and if there isn't objection, I'm joined by Mr. Irving Rockwood, who I believe is on from the Sandy Pond School Association. You have in your packet a request from the Sandy Pond School Association to authorize a letter on their behalf as they are diligently working to resolve an adverse possession issue. And you have a copy of the claim in your packet, and they are represented by attorney Tom Gibbons. In a nutshell, when this came to light, when they recently applied for a specific grant, in this particular grant, the issue of title was raised. And give a very simplified overview version, there was a question of the title that needs to be resolved. And that's going to be resolved through this adverse possession mechanism. And as far as everybody knows in the town, and looking in the records, and Irving can speak to this, that the only entity that has ever had care and custody of the property has been the Sandy Pond School Association, going back to when they were incorporated on March 30th of 1956. And so the Sandy Pond School Association has asked the board to write a letter of support in this case, which would indicate that they have been the only entity in custody and currently in custody of the property in support to resolving this issue. And there is a draft in your packet, obviously, for discussion and for your consideration. And if you want to make edits and so forth, we'd ultimately be looking for your approval. And Mr. Chair, if there's no objection, I'd ask if Mr. Rockwood, maybe I missed something, or he might want to just add briefly to that. And this is Mr. Rockwood from the Sandy Pond School Association.
Good evening, Mr. Rockwood.
Hello, thank you for, thanks for having me. Robert, you really covered pretty much everything. I just would, there are a couple interesting circumstances that caused this problem, or rather caused us to discover this problem. We were completely unaware until sometime last spring that there was any kind of a title issue with the property. The association has operated, managed, maintained the property since it acquired it in 1908. But there was an episode in 1956 in which the association decided to incorporate itself. What that meant was that the name changed from Sandy Pond School Association to Sandy Pond School Association, Inc. That's its current name. And at that time, the association organizers, the trustees of the association, managed to get the incorporation done, but neglected to file a transfer of ownership to the new legal entity, Sandy Pond School Association, Inc. And the result is, as we discovered in April, we technically don't have a clear title to the property. This had some unfortunate consequences, one of which was we lost a state grant that we had been awarded for $50,000 that was going to help us complete the restoration work. Over the long term, it has some other issues. It would prevent us from selling the property, not that we have any intent of doing that. But it also prevents us from doing something that's important, and that is to be able to sign a deed restriction in perpetuity, which we need to sign for most grants, including the CPC grant that we do have and are going to use and would have needed for the Massachusetts grant. Without that ability, we can't actually ensure that future owners of the property would have to abide by its historic status. So it's important to get the problem solved over the long term. And the solution, as Robert has indicated, the legal solution is to file what's called an adverse possession claim. In effect, we are going and saying that the trustees in 1956, 65 years ago, forgot to give us a clear title to the property. And we're asking the land court to rule that we actually do own the property at this time, because of the fact that we have maintained sole custody of it for the last 65 years. 20 years is the actual legal requirement. So our expectation is that this is a slam dunk. However, it won't be instantaneous. It could take a year. It will certainly take several months. And until it's done, we don't technically have clear title. However, we can continue as we have for the last 65 years to continue to maintain and work on the schoolhouse. And we are at this point now planning to resume work in 2022. We will have a little less money to work with than we originally had hoped, but we will have enough to do the major work. We're looking forward to having the schoolhouse open again. We faced a number of delays in recent years, including, of course, COVID, and that could upset everything. But we think that after slogging through this problem, it was exacerbated by the fact that we discovered we had a potential problem in April, but could not verify that until September because we could not access the Middlesex County archives on the Registry of Deeds. They were closed because of COVID until the end of August, and we weren't able to actually go in until September 1st and then confirm that we had a real problem. So we've been especially scrambling since then, and that's when we lost the Mass grant. But the plan at this point is to proceed with this action. In fact, it's already been filed, and we have every expectation of success. And eventually, we think everything will work out.
All right. Scott or Janice, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Robert.
With respect to the draft letter, there's just one, in the third paragraph, first sentence, it's our position based on the historic record that the Sandy Pond School Association has historically been and is the only entity. They'd like for you to add since their incorporation on March 30th of 1956. So just adding the qualification date.
Agree.
Unless there's objection from the board. That was.
No objection from me.
No objection.
None. Okay, if there's no other questions or comments, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion on the letter.
I'll make a motion that the select board put forth a letter of support for the Sandy Pond School Association as amended this evening.
Seconded.
Okay, Board Member Hood, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Member Livingston, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, and the letter as amended is approved or authorized. Thank you, Mr. Rockwood.
Yes, thank you. Thanks so much for your support.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you for everything you do.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, just briefly, number 4, the FY23 budget update. At this point, not a lot to report in terms of the update. Obviously, capital planning process is moving forward full steam. The rate review process has started. That committee started that process. And again, just to emphasize the next major benchmarks, all of the initial budget submissions are due on December 30th. Per the timeline, on January 14th, the first draft of the budget will be transmitted to the select board and to the FinCom and will also be available for the public. It will be in the select board's meeting packet and posted to the website. And then January 26th at 6 p.m. Will be the first public budget forum. And that's generally a joint meeting of the select board and the FinCom, and all of the department heads will be in attendance, and we'll take a look at the sort of the overview, the higher overview of the budget, but also where the budget is looking as of January 26th, and we'll continue to move forward with this process. No specific further update at this time beyond that or what is in the packet, unless there's any questions from the board. And then, then the last item in the packet is the notice of proposed sale of Chapter 61 land by David A. Rogers of 4 Pierce Ave And I'm just pulling up. We received this attached notice. The board may be familiar with these notices for other Chapter 61 lands on December 8th. And per state statute, the town has 30 days to respond, as we have the first right of refusal in purchasing the land. And that's as the condition of the land being in Chapter 61. This parcel is 3,885 square feet and located behind Pierce Avenue and Snake Hill Road. This small parcel is landlocked. This letter was sent to all town departments, and all have recommended through interdepartmental review not to purchase the property. Additionally, the Planning Board and Conservation Commission have each voted not to pursue this land acquisition. Obviously, the notice is put before the Select Board for your review and consideration. Again, based on the interdepartmental review and the acts of the Planning Board and Conservation Commission, it'd be the recommendation that the town not pursue this land acquisition.
Scott or
agree.
Dan? Yeah,
I
I
agree.
agree.
also agree.
So you need a motion?
Please.
So I'll make a motion that the select board not, hold on, wait a minute, I lost, all right. Not accept the Chapter 61 land as presented tonight.
I'll second.
Okay, Board Member Livingston, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Member Hood, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, that concludes my report. Thank you for your time and consideration this evening. And again, happy holidays to each of you and your families.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Mr. Grant. Hey, I don't believe there was any new business or select board member questions for this evening.
No.
Okay. The next item is the approval of meeting minutes from December 7th of 2021. I didn't have any corrections or changes.
I did not have any.
I did not have any.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for December 7th, 2021 as presented.
Seconded.
Board Member Hood, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Member Livingston, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, and the meeting minutes are approved. Brings us to,
Mr. Chair,
concludes our regular, oh, yes,
I'll make the motion.
go for it. It's all you.
All right. I make a motion that the select board move into executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, exemption number 3, union negotiation strategy, fire union contract MOA, and that the board will adjourn from executive session and not come back into open session.
Second.
Board Member Livingston, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Member Hood, how do you vote?
Aye.
The chair votes aye, and we are in executive session.